10-4. Yeah, I got two of them now sitting in the rack. The one I use for DXing, and this one here I use for around town.
Hey, 10-4, did you have that big sale? You was going to get rid of a lot of stuff. Did you do that?
Dude, I got everything you could ever need.
So you didn't have the big sale?
No, not yet. Pretty soon, I got to. I went to a couple, or I got two sales last year, and we did pretty good.
Roger. Yeah, well, I've been busy, so that kind of kept me out of a little bit of trouble, but I had some idle time today. 10-4?
10-4. Did you ever see them Stinger? It's a Stinger board.
No, I'm not familiar with it. What is it, like a mod?
No, little built-in kicker. You put in the Cobra 29 or something like that. You take the speaker out and you bolt this up where the speaker was. You can put a switch on it, or you don't have to. And that'll give you a good 80 to 100.
I've heard kits on the order of, but they have a little heat sink out the back. Well, I've never gotten into that. I've always done external. 10-4?
10-4. Yeah, I don't know. They're pretty nice. They're easy to install. They're easier than them 150 kits, you know, or RX75.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking about. I've never actually even so much as touched one of them. You know, I don't know how they work. I've heard people trying to install them. 10-4?
Roger that. There's a lot of work involved in that 75 if you don't do it right. After you put that thing in, you got to go through the whole radio again. You got to retune your entire radio.
Yeah, I've never had one. I don't have a desire for it, though. You know what I mean? You have to have, like, a desire.
Yeah, 10-4. I had one on a LTD, or whatever, the LX, the brand new model, 29 or whatever. I had one on there, and that thing talked good. I should have kept that.
Yeah, my Connex have everything built in. It's just like one pill. And it does everything I wanted to do, so I'm like, well, I never worry. I mean, I could key up from Philadelphia and get back to Pottstown.
I hear that. What kind of antenna?
One of them old Radio Shack Archer antennas, maybe from way back in the 70s.
No way.
Yeah, see, that's the reason why. You know how they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it? You know, if it's working real well, don't question it.
Yeah, and I can confirm that contact, because I was the other half.
Yeah, I was on the River Drive, and I keyed up on Pete. 10-4?
10-4. Connex, what, the high drive? The 36, is it?
Using my antique flea market junk.
No, the 4300 HP. It's just one pill. Hello there, No Voice. I hear you out there.
Alright guys, I got called tonight. Good hearing you out there. I had to jump in. Good hearing you too, Pete. Countywide Radio. You take care, and I'll catch you all later. Happy gobble gobble.
Yep, good chatting it up with you. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm sure we'll bump it up again. 441 to Countywide Radio.
Hey, Roger, countywide, always good to, I'm sorry, Unit 3, good to hear from you. The night train base station is on the side. We're copying them out. I think she's warmed up. Yeah, you were the recipient of me keying up from the River Drive.
Yep, I was the other half of that equation. I got the ears. May not get out so well from this volcano crater, but I got ears.
Oh, you was getting out.
Hello, radio.
Gotta love it when a plan comes together. Come on, Breaker.
Try again. Hello, radio.
I'll try again. Go ahead, Breaker.
Hello, Pete.
Who's that? Rob?
Al.
Al. Hello, Al. Quakertown Al. How you been? How about it, Al?
Doing okay up here. How about you?
Doing okay down here. It's been a while. Good to hear you're still hanging around.
Yeah, we're still around.
Well, you're sounding good down here tonight. It's nice and quiet. Sounds like you got an intermittent mic or something.
On the 8900.
Well, it works when it works.
Problem with the mic.
It's usually where the problems start.
So, happy Thanksgiving.
We're right back at you. Classic Radio Roundup, the Thanksgiving edition.
Hello out there.
I'm still here.
Yeah, hello out there.
How you doing up there?
I'm alright. How's Mr. Ron?
Alrighty.
Sounded loud tonight.
Oh. I did nothing different.
Oh, I'm just telling you what you sound like.
Well, I gotta accept it.
And it ain't no boofy, baby.
That's right. Here we go.
Here we go. Classic Radio Roundup, the Turkey Day edition.
Yeah, I'm kind of in a quandary here. I don't know if I want to call it the Turkey Day edition or the Snowmageddon edition. Or the Snowmageddon that never happened edition. You know, wow, that's better.
Well, it's not the Snowmageddon they were calling for.
Alright, let me see.
Gotta get some audio. But I don't want too much, because, you know, some people are highly critical of audio here. Oh, my goodness. Set this right here. And we are keeping with the tram theme tonight. And please ignore the purring kitty in the background here, who's rubbing up against my D104 as we speak.
I can actually hear it. And I'm glad it's not the snowmageddon they were calling for. It's just a heavy, wet mess. But Miniman doesn't care. He likes it. And, you know, talking with Train earlier on the Roundup warm-up, it comes to mind that if you're using a stock microphone, nobody can be critical of you. It's in the Classic Radio Roundup charter that it is verboten to criticize a classic radio operator using that radio's stock microphone.
Yeah, the only problem is a lot of stock microphones really sound like crap.
It's still verboten to criticize.
I guess you could use it as a get out of jail free card, you know. It's like, hey, I have an excuse for sounding goofy. I'm running a stock mic.
Exactly. Get out of jail free. Yeah, I know I sound like crap, but I'm on a stock microphone.
Yeah, so cut me some slack, Jack.
The radio's working.
Yeah, it is, don't you know? Yeah, this one doesn't kick up real high in the modulation department. It's got a pretty tight limiter in it.
This is Mud Duck. Can I get a radio check, please?
Radio's working, checks in the mail.
Yeah.
10-4, buddy.
Yeah, I went and dug out my my stock mic, my 3-pin stock mic for the CR123B. I'll use that on the second hour.
Oh no, we're gonna have a second edition of the stock mic edition? Oh no.
We'll give everybody an hour to prepare. So yeah, 9 o'clock I'm going to stock microphone CR123B. Right now I'm on the Sonar FS 23.
With a stock mic?
No, the Shure 450. It is unamplified.
Yeah, so it's almost a stock mic. It's just not the stock mic.
Let me that killed my audio, didn't it? Where's that switch? Hello, there we go.
What did you flip?
The high-low Z switch on the bottom.
Yeah, that's probably not a good idea.
Needs to be high Z.
Makes sense, it's a tube radio.
That's right, Wednesday night, where tubes are the classic radio fame.
That's what I'm running. Tram Titan.
Sonar FS 23 with a whole lot of them little soldiers in there.
Tram Titan and a kitty cat.
Audio, changed microphones. Hello, Pete.
There you are. Hello, Al.
Better?
Yeah, you sounded good. I mean, you were sounding good before. You just weren't keying up when you thought you were.
The other one kept chopping out, so I just plugged in another mic.
Yeah, it's always good to have some kind of backup. And any good radio op that's been around a while has got a drawer full of microphones somewhere.
Sure. All right, I'll be listening.
Well, thanks for checking in to Classic Radio Roundup. Snowmageddon Turkey Day edition, or pre-Turkey Day.
Mud Duck out.
Can you say snow day?
Well, you do?
I can and I did.
I can't and I won't.
Yeah, school was canceled today for me.
Well, I canceled my work day because I was expecting 6 to 10 inches of snow. That's what the weatherman kept saying. Although I understand up in Hupp's Church they got over 8 inches, and that's only maybe 20 miles up the road. But I got about 2, and that's all I got. It seems like it comes down and it's melting as fast as it's coming down, so I have a net gain of 0. It just stays where it was.
That's how it's been here all day. Like the first heaviest, it covered the grass, but then it just never got any more all day.
Yeah, same down here. Just like clockwork, it went from rain to snow right at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean, the forecasters that I was following had the storm track and everything down to a science. They had everything perfectly right except the snow totals. But, it was very local. Some areas, it was elevation dependent too. those that were higher up in elevation got a lot more.
Yeah. When we have a snow day down here, officially it's a paid day off.
Yeah, I decided to work from home, and which worked out okay. Because, you know, half the people took off because of the holiday, and the other half stayed home to work from home, so I wasn't the only one. But I have a feeling it probably didn't even go home to get any snow where I work.
Well, that's an absolute mobile right there.
I know Skeeter was working today. He was pulling people out of ditches, I think.
Yeah, you gotta kind of stay on the beaten path. You can't stray.
No, not if you're going fast.
I like that picture of that last guy. I don't know what he was trying to do, but he had to call me.
Sometimes not even going slow will keep you out of trouble.
Well, that's the thing. It's a fine line you gotta walk. If you go too slow, you lose traction and you can't get going again. If you go too fast, you slide off the road.
Well, I had an instance, this was a couple years ago, just going down my driveway, slow as I could possibly go. It didn't matter. I lost traction anyhow and slid right off the driveway.
If it's ice, yeah, you can't do nothing about it.
Well, anyway, evening time there, people. Well, that's absolute mobile heading back to the home 20 to get one of the tube radios warmed up.
Hello, Lobster Hard Working Mobile 441, your countywide LLC.
Hey, countywide. Hello, Sam Bagger.
Yeah, how's it going on this pre-turkey day? Classic Radio Roundup.
Uh-oh. I heard that phone ringing here. Uh-oh.
You might never get home.
Oh dear.
Where's Quarter Wave Dave to say, and then it got quiet?
I was just thinking that.
He was on this afternoon.
Yeah, I think I did hear him on earlier. You running a gate, Pete?
That would be a big 10-4, good buddy.
ATM4.
I mean, it is Classic Radio Roundup, so I'm sure we can get away with using classic CB terms, which brings to mind maybe I should get out my old 10 code booklet and refresh myself. Man, remember how we used to use the hell out of them things?
10-4. 10-100.
Anybody got a 1036?
10-8 and straight.
10-7.
Yeah, 809.
And then we'd make up other codes, like the 11 code.
Yeah, I remember the local homemade codes.
I like a 10-100.
That's right.
And then there's a 10-200.
I ain't gonna do that. I got 10-100 though.
I think I have an old 10 code book around here somewhere.
And then there was two different versions of it. There was like the police version of it, and then there was the accepted CV version. But you know, one of them was 10-12 was visitors present, and the other code was standby stop. It's like, wait a minute, I like visitors present better. Because we often had 10-12.
Classic Radio Roundup.
Hello, Sparky.
Hey, what's going on? Yes, indeedy. Oh, yeah. Check this out. Look at that. Clarifier's open on that. That's a Midland 13898B, Bravo.
All right.
23 channels of crystal excitement.
23 channels of 1970s wood grain throwback excitement.
10-2.
Yep, it looks like a piece of furniture. I didn't know Midland had wood grain radios. Yeah, wood grain enhances the signal.
Just like having antenna wax.
It's like chrome on a Kraco. Yeah, there you are, Chuck.
Chrome don't get you home, but it will get you laid.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
And the same back to you.
Hey, Ken.
Hello.
Bagger and Night Train, whoever else is in there. I can hear that Lhasa Apsu Mobile out there, and our friend Countywide.
Countywide.
You working tonight there, Countywide?
10-4, Roger, right on. Somebody got to keep the lights on and the monkeys warm.
Yeah, there you go.
And I also found out I got 3 vacation days left on the books. I got to use them up before the end of the year. Woe is me.
Use them or lose them, that's how our place is.
That would be a Roger.
Break radio roundup.
Who's calling the roundup?
Break radio roundup.
Who is calling the roundup? Come on in. Alright, we'll try it this way. Station calling the roundup. It's your turn. 441.
Yeah, Roger, 431. You've got unit 21, One-Eye Jack. You copy, over?
Yep, I copy. Hello, One-Eyed Jack. You got the Spitfire. 441. Hello, right back at you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Roger, happy Thanksgiving to you too, and as usual, got a very good copy on you. You're starting to get up here, I think, down in Dover County there, 441, over?
Roger, Roger. I know you're down there and keeping the classic radio roundup spirit alive down in the southern tier of the state, as it were. And sure do appreciate hearing you come in and check in with us on Classic Radio Roundup.
Roger, well, you're doing a good job. By the way, I did some looking up on those 253Os. They're quite a tube, over?
Yeah, they are quite the tube. I call them my big Edison bulbs. Come on.
Roger that. Well, keep up the good work there. I'm just curious, are you running that same grounded cathode or grounded grid, over?
It's running grounded grid.
Roger that. You're very good there. The grid connection is on the outside of the tube, over?
Say that again?
The grid connection is on the outside envelope of the tube, over?
Yes, that is correct.
Roger that. You're running a pilot. You probably have a pilot look up, but how do you work? You have a pilot look input to the cathode, over?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what you're asking. There's flutter in your signal, but it is. I didn't build the thing, but it does work.
Roger that. You probably have a pilot outlook reading the cathode circuit, over?
And it is not grounded grid. It's the other way. It's because it's got its own grid supply, bias supply of I think it's 110 volts, 120 volts negative bias supply.
Roger, so you're running it's grounded cathode then?
It's grid driven.
Yeah, it's grid driven.
Oh, very good, very good.
Yeah, I had to think about that for a second. Once you said the external grid connection, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I had to think about it for a while. I've gone through it and worked on it, but I didn't build the thing. I mean, I'm not I'm not so good as the build stuff, but I can follow a roadmap.
Roger that, Roger. Well, it's funny with those tubes. Do you have any neutralization? Do you have any neutralization capacitors on the tube, over?
I'm not quite sure if there is or there isn't. I don't think there is. It's not band switchable.
And I do know that the tube is good for 40 megahertz. You can go all the way up to the low end of the VHF band and make it work. It's quite a tube, over.
It is quite the tube, and I do plan on making it band switchable with plug-in coils, but that's a project for the future.
Roger, no, you're right now you're on 27. That's easy to do. To get the other bands, you're going to have a pretty good pi network. You can actually buy those things from MFJ, over.
10-4, Roger, right on. Yeah, well, I got a whole lot of projects ahead of that one, but it is a project on the list because it is, like you said, it is quite the tube, and it has quite the power supply to support the whole work. So I want to try and get more use out of it.
Roger, yeah, well, be careful with the power supply. You got enough juice to send you the kingdom come there, over.
Oh, I'm careful with it. Don't you worry about it. There's around 3,000 volts there, so I'm not fooling around with that.
Yeah, Roger. Well, that's not too much for me there. I got this swinging up right now. I found out I have to keep a dead tube about 20 watts, and I can modulate up to about 60 or so. I'm using a different little amp right now. The key to this thing, if I want a pair of 510s, I want them class C. I use the deep threshold voltage to make this thing sound like it sounds, over.
10-4, Roger, right on. Well, I'm just tickling this thing right now, and I'm only running about 100.5 carrier. But all right. Well, thanks for checking in, One Eye Jack. There's not too many other people up this way that can hear you, so I'm not gonna hold the channel too long. But yeah, thanks for looking into the tubes, man. They're quite the thing, you know. They're not very common. I guess they were back in the day, but not so much anymore. So I try to take care of it and make the thing last. So there it is. One Eye Jack, thanks for checking in to Classic Radio Roundup 441. I'm on the side.
Yeah, buddy.
By the way, the tube goes back to 1951.
Got some bench time on my Henry.
Does it work yet?
No, but I took a hot knife and spread that coil. I went in and cut in between those coil leads and cut the plexiglass out and spread the coil back. I need to make some spacers. Remake a spacer. Yeah, popsicle stick. And then also, I fixed a ceramic pass-through the frame that was shorted internally, arced through, and the porcelain was broken. It was a known failure point, and sure enough, this one had it.
Spacers and standoffs are us.
There you go. Well, that means that must have had some problems. That might have been what parked it in the side of the shed there. You know, for however long it was there.
I have some 05 Delrin over here. I can make insulated spacers.
Yeah, I think the guy said just use wire or something, go through that. But I went right to Henry. They still have the spacers, got that.
Yeah. Well, that's a shame. You could have had your own little piece of 05 in your own amplifier there.
Yeah, I bet you it made some zap sounds.
05 parts made and reworked by Countywide Radio Machine, LLC.
Yeah, Sparky, when you got that thing, and you told me it needed a tube, I said, you gotta be suspect to why it needs a tube.
Yeah, well, I checked the tube with my meter, so there's no shorts and the filament's still good. And I'm just hoping that, you know, it just kept tripping the fuses or whatever. We'll find out. I gotta power it up, make sure it has voltage and all that. But we're going through it a little bit at a time.
Maybe that ceramic thing that shorted out was why it was tripping fuses.
Yeah, if it was, or the breakers.
Also destroyed the tube.
It could have.
Well, if that was B+, I don't see why that would kill the tube. Because it's, you know, before the tube.
Oh, okay, it was on the B+ line, yeah. Yeah, I agree with the fuse thing then.
Don't know. Little by little, though. Definitely worth restoring.
Oh, no doubt.
As long as the iron's good, I don't know that, but I'm looking at the size of it, and I'm like, man, you could weld with that thing.
Yeah, if that's shot, you're in big trouble. That ain't gonna be cheap.
And the filament voltage on those are very critical.
Yeah, what's cool though, there's like 5 different tubes you can get for it. They're all the same, just different numbers, and you can hunt around for the different numbers for the same tube. That's pretty common with a lot of tubes though. Now they use these in MRI, magnetic resonance.
Yeah, back in the 80s and the 90s they did, but it's all solid state nowadays. Because of the application of it, the tubes would have low hours on them, and they'd swap them out because they want fresh, crisp tubes in there for the imaging. So it was real popular to buy medical pulls, which were, it only had about 10 or 15% burn time on the filaments.
Yeah, that's what I picked up, a YU-158. And then there's a YC-257, and a 3CPX-1500A7. That was the P mean pulse duty, I guess. I can't wait for that thing to pulse on the air.
Yeah, my favorite tube's 3500Z.
Yeah, there's a Henry on the bay right now with 2 of those.
It's a guy in Jersey selling an amp. That's an L4B clone. Yep.
That's me, 3500Z and 250TH.
There's an ugly Heathkit 220 on the bay right now. But it looks like it has 2, still good Ampex tubes. Ampex? How do you say it? Ampex?
Ampex.
Yeah, Ampex.
Yeah, the ink is all nice and red and bright on them still. What did you have over there countywide? Was that a 200 or was that a Heathkit?
Heathkit SB1000.
Yeah.
Yep, I still have it. I just got to spend money.
What's it need, caps?
Tube and a transformer rewind, but I got a get around on that. I got a transformer over here I think that'll work.
There's a guy on QTH that has a 3500Z for sale, $80.
Who does? What?
QTH.com.
I don't want to buy any used tube. I'm done buying used tubes. When I'm ready, I just put it on a credit card and get one from RF Parts. They're only $160 to about $169 for Chinese one new.
Keyword Chinese.
The Taylor tubes are pretty good. They're $169.
It's like a raffle.
Yeah, they're name brand Chinese. They're not plain Jane Chinese. They're Taylor tubes.
I think the fact that they're Taylor just means they've been tested at least once.
I've had some pretty good luck with the firecrackers.
What do you mean firecrackers?
Chinese tubes.
Okay. Just checking up on the lingo.
would be nice to be able to band switch the 250 TH amp. That would be just solve all kinds of problems. That thing will do well over legal limit.
Gotta get that working again.
Well, it sort of is, but I know what the problem is. I need a couple of caps and an inductor.
Yeah, I mean, that's when the trouble started, when you replaced that input inductor, right?
I didn't do that yet. It smoked on me. I haven't done anything about it.
No, I thought you replaced the input. You got a beepier one, and when you put that in there, it made it worse, or something made it do that weird feedback or whatever it was doing.
No, that was the filament inductor, the filament transformer.
Yeah, filament choke. That's where you put your input into.
No. Well, yeah, but I mean, no, I'm talking about a different. That's the tuning input.
Okay.
And there's a couple of disc ceramics I think need replacing in there. But I wish I had someone a little bit more knowledgeable about these things to help me with that. Because I hate just doing stuff that I'm not quite sure about.
Yeah, I hear you. Have to figure out what it is that's going on instead of just blindly going here and there, you know.
Yeah, there's no schematic for it that I can find.
Nah, it's homebrew. You have to draw one, I guess.
Well, I do have a list over here, or sticky on the wall of Mauser parts, and the list is getting kind of long, so I need to make my Mauser order, and parts for that are on that list.
There you go. That's one way to get the ball rolling.
But I like to have a pretty good list of stuff, so I got my preamp to fix, so there's a couple devices there. You know, I got a capacitor order. I got parts for the amp. I got some stuff on the list, so just waiting for the right time.
05, Institute of Technology, Accelerated Shotgun Course.
It's been a while, but I used to visit the ampliflector on the internet, get some hints and kinks figured out for my gear. I don't even know if that still exists.
Well, actually, right now, hot on my workbench is my modulator for my James Millen transmitter with my pair of 807s and push-pull. I got the physical, mechanical part of it done, and I just got to finish electrical. And I got a relay I got to put in there, obviously, because that's where everything gets done from. And then add the modulator to the transmitter and finish up my high voltage power supply, and that'll be fun. 1947 James Millen.
Yeah, I scored a James Millen tuner at the end of the summer at a swap meet.
There is a piece of Millen equipment at that Sellersville auction. Did anybody go there?
You know, I saw that thing online, and it's the same model I have, but the knobs were wrong.
I picked this up with a sort of a private sale with Tickle. Some guy had bought a lot of junk, and it was in his garage, and it was radio stuff. That's all I knew. There was a lot of junk, but there was a couple of gems in there.
That was a double.
And some of the prices were salty even before the auction.
Yeah, was it an estate or something? They're trying to get maximum bang for the buck.
Yeah, they had internet bidding on the stuff, and then also, you know, you could go up there, but already the Collins stuff was over $500, $600 a unit.
Yeah, the parallel series knobs, the big ones, they were incorrect for the unit. You could actually see that they were too big. They should be smaller by about an inch. And it's a Bakelite rounded over knob.
See now, added a curb.
And the meter didn't look correct either. was able to compare mine to the one on the auction site to know the differences.
Yeah, I was thinking about going, but then I was like, you know what? You got to sit through all them like dishes and stuff. I mean, literally, right? You have to sit there.
There's an auction house down at the Delaware line. I know somebody used to go there all the time, and occasionally Ham Gear would go through and know what he would bid on it, and he would get it for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, but you gotta like commit.
He'd be the only bidder.
Yeah, like commit like 3 hours.
Well, he was retired, and so it became a hobby.
Yeah, like the classic radio hobby.
That's right.
All the people there were vendors that had antique shops. So, I mean, yeah, antique shop isn't going to look for electronics.
Good evening, Classic Radio Roundup. Night Train signing on.
Oh.
Evening, Night Train.
Good evening, Sparky. Good evening, Bagger, Pete, Chuck, and anybody else around the band. I know we got some sandbaggers. Train signing on.
Hello, Captain Boofy.
Oh no, am I boofy tonight?
Well, actually, you sound crystal clear tonight.
10 Roger.
Why was I the last person you named?
You're like Bagger. I say good evening, gentlemen, and Sandbagger, and then Sandbagger goes, why am I being isolated?
Well, Chucky says the best for last. You should know that.
What am I, like Johnny Come Lately or something?
I hope you're not serious.
All right, I'm 10-7.
Yeah. How's this old Midland sound over there, Night Train?
Sound pretty good, man.
Yeah, 898B. It's a beautiful radio.
I'll have to fire mine up just to say we were twinsies.
Yeah, it's got like them billet aluminum knobs and real nice aluminum finish and 2 little pieces of real wood on the corners that make it almost look like a tram, like a mini tram.
What was the number on that?
898, Bravo.
10 Roger, yeah. That is a base station, is that correct?
Yep, it's got a clock in there and 2 big meters.
It is an attractive radio, I will say that.
Yeah, I used to have one at one time, and I let it go. Probably shouldn't have.
I kind of like mine because I knew a couple people that had them back in the day, so there's a little bit of a nostalgic attachment.
Yeah, absolutely. That was one of the better looking ones that they made.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, a guy that originally, well, I won't say originally, but the guy that used my Midland 13885, when he sold that to another guy, he bought the 898B, and he didn't really like it after a while, and he sold that and bought a Utopia.
Yeah, isn't there some Midland base that's like unobtainium?
A Midland base?
Yeah. It's like some kind of Midland Pro Series or something.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about, but that's a 40 channel.
Okay, I mean, I see it come across like once every 5 years or something.
Yeah, that's the Precision series. They came out with those. I never really liked them too much because you really couldn't expand them, and Yeah, that was like after the fun days with the O2A and all. That's long after that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you could still buy a Midland radio today.
Yeah, you probably can. Some little dinky mobile, probably.
Yeah, made it max on. The cheapest of the cheap.
Made in China. Sweat labor.
That's right, man. Running that 11-year-old technology. That's right, made by 11-year-olds.
Well, this one right here is the Robin 123, not the B, but the original model.
That's the one with the seeing eye tube?
That's my Roger.
Yeah.
What does that do when you talk, Nitrate?
It opens up. Let's see, let's look at it. Actually, it closes up. It opens up, and when you talk, the two little things come together.
Okay, I had a Fisher stereo we were talking about, but it had, I think, one of those tubes that went sideways. It would light up left if you were on center at the channel or not.
That's exactly what this is.
But it's still on the side, but yet it's a circle you're seeing, or?
No, this is a vertical cylinder type. It's a very thin eye, about maybe 1/4 inch wide by 1.5 inches high, and the things move up and down.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they mount them horizontal or vertical, and then there's the eye around, like at the end of the tube. If you were looking at the top of the tube, they're the two varieties that are most common.
All right, are they the same tube or two different tubes? I know they mount them differently, and you look at them differently. Are they the same thing?
No, they're different tubes, different tube number.
That's right.
Let me check something. Chuck, are you still there? You know, I have a suspicion he was really offended because his name was called last.
I don't think he was upset. Not seriously.
I think Chuck's a little thin, got thicker skin than that.
He went 10-7 on that response.
He teaches high school, for crying out loud. He's got to have thick skin.
I found that rather odd.
Hell, you always put me to last. I don't care.
I actually do not care.
Like I said to Chuck, you always save the best for last.
Yeah, he said I'm 10-7.
And I think there was a long distance breaker for train, or just a plain mud duck.
Go ahead, breaker. It sounds like that guy's hit Pittsburgh.
Sounds like Skip.
Yeah, that's a little skip.
Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I think he was talking to a Pittsburgh station.
No, because every time Toronto loses, he wins money.
Yeah, that's Skipland coming up out of the dust. For Classic Radio Roundup.
Right.
When Toronto loses.
27115, where tubes are alive. Go ahead, Breaker.
Speaking of tubes, I got 4 glowing. How you doing, everybody? Tickler.
Happy Tube Day to you, too.
Hello, Tickle.
Hello, Tickle.
Hello, everybody. I'm still wondering what a steering wheel is. If it's the driver's seat, it's got to have a steering wheel.
No, you can drive without a steering wheel. Everybody else does that.
It still bothers me. My arm
That's a picture of the fishbowl.
I don't steer the ship. I just make the power to make it go. Yeah, the picture of the fishbowl. What do you think of that?
I thought it was kind of neat that there's a TV to the far left there. Of course.
Well, it's our internet connection. Yeah, after I took the picture, dope! I should have had something else up there.
Well, at least you weren't watching porn.
Oh, that'd last about not very long.
Last 20% longer.
Better get out and use that car one of these days before the motors.
No, it was pretty neat though to see all them controls.
Yeah, it's neat until the Maraday hits the ventilator. They all think we do nothing, but they're not hanging around when things go south. One guy is not enough for that board, to tell you the truth.
Wow, looks like you could seat 3 or 4 guys there.
No, but there's only one. But when it gets deep, you bring in the other guy. But that's why our chairs have wheels.
Oh, from one to the other.
I do too.
Yeah, unless your knees bend backwards.
But the beauty is most of those screens you can bring up anything, so you can put anything you want on there. Most of them, not all of them.
This is good.
Which is a whole lot different than the old days.
Get that fresh air, I'll tell you the next big difference.
In the old days, you had to run around and actually open and close valves. Well, we still got to do that too, but on a whole lot bigger scale than what it is now.
You listen, how about your wrestle?
Now I open and close valves with a click of a mouse.
As long as it works.
Yeah, there's the caveat.
Sometimes even that breaks.
549023.
It's nothing worse than watching your steam header pressure go down and you're waiting for the boiler to purge and it fails to light on the first attempt. Now you gotta wait another, 4 to 5 minutes for the purge. Do 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 do.
It's like trying to start a 68 Plymouth.
I think it's 754. It's not 754.
Do they have regularly scheduled shutdowns?
Each boiler has a scheduled shutdown throughout the year, but nothing goes down all at once now.
Okay, so you'll switch out and do maintenance on them, the one that's shut down.
Yeah, we'll rotate boilers out. One boiler a month gets locked out and stripped down and put back together.
See, Chuck's still in there, trained.
Do you do that in-house or contractor come in?
We do some stuff ourselves and contractors do other stuff, so it's a mix.
You don't have any gas turbine generators over there, do you?
GE Frame 5 and a GE Frame 7 gas turbine generators.
Keep the prefix.
Yeah, I was looking at people putting them in vehicles and stuff, and go-karts, 502 Boeing, little ones.
Yeah, these are a little bit bigger than that. Our small one is the size of 2 railroad engines. The same width, but the length of 2 of them.
What's the max diameter of one of the compressor wheels in there, and what's the max speed on that thing?
Oh, easy now. I don't know the exact diameter, but it's somewhere around maybe on the small turbine, I don't know, 12 or 14 feet. The other one's probably closer to 20 or 22 feet on the rotor.
Don't they spin at like thousands of RPMs?
Yes, sir. I'm trying to remember now. It is I have to think about it a second. What our speed is at.
Yeah, they're usually over 10,000.
Yeah, it's up there. I have to think about it.
But we are here.
They were selling surplus helicopter turbo engines, they're like 600 horsepower for boats.
Yeah, but there's aircraft jet engines, and then there's stationary jet engines, and they're not really the same thing. They are, but they aren't.
You can buy those surplus energy units, the backup power units for the aircraft they put on the back of the jetliners. I see them surplus once in a while.
This is operator 252 here in Nova Scotia.
Yeah, those helicopter motors work out pretty well, actually.
There, Albany, and good one there.
There's some back skip Nova Scotia coming in.
Household stuff, and I think they're thirsty.
Bagger, did you ever see the years ago a guy put a helicopter engine in a Glastron Carlson, and he reworked the gearing in the outdrive?
You should be familiar with that clip. You probably live.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I saw a couple articles about guys that were doing exactly that.
I saw way back in an Iron Horse magazine where a guy took a Triumph twin engine and made a single seat helicopter out of it. I'm like, you think I'd really trust a Triumph power plant to fly me around?
Oh no, putting your life in Lord Lucas's hands.
Good gravy.
Yeah, usually not in this lake, but
Yeah, this Glastron, it was like a 21-foot. It was pretty impressive. And it was the guy's first attempt, and he actually started a business where he would machine parts with gear reduction for the OMC 400 and 800 outdrive, lashed up to a turbine.
don't know.
I'm surprised those OMC 400, 800 series didn't explode. Those things weren't designed to take that kind of power.
Well, I think
I like gas turbine generators though. They're pretty cool. They're easy to run, easy to maintain, easy to start.
fail and standing it up. Hopefully, the weight of it won't pull him through the window.
Yeah, the drawback was you'd burn through a tank of fuel in about 20 minutes, half an hour, depending upon how high you're on the throttle.
Well, see, yeah, that's the jet type, and the stationary type actually by themselves aren't very efficient. Maybe 25 to 35% efficient. We're efficient because we throw a boiler on the exhaust end of it, and now we're up to 75 to 80% efficient.
From the bench window, so I don't ever want anybody.
Nobody said gas turbines by themselves were efficient, but boy, they are a convenient power plant.
One that I'm presently.
Yeah, as I say, for power to weight and all that, like these helicopter engines were smaller than the big block V8s they were replacing.
55 pounds.
Yeah, there was a Model T kit car with that 502 Boeing on Craigslist. I think they said Sellersville.
A Model T?
Yeah, Model T kit car.
With a jet engine.
Yeah, all chopped, no top.
I want the Munsters custom car there with a jet engine.
I have a picture of a T-bucket snowmobile with a big block and a blower.
I seen that, the blue one, and which Munsters car? The Dragula or the other one?
The Dragula, and yeah, I actually have that super sled picture on. Use it for slow scan.
The hearse was cool.
I like the guy that built the snowblower out of a 454.
Because somebody sent me a link for a V8 chainsaw.
I saw that. You sent it to me.
It's got.
Probably could use that V8 snowblower in Buffalo.
Oh, it would have ate right through it.
Oh yeah, there was no challenge there.
I was like, where's the cooling? Where's the radiator?
That was behind the operator. It actually blew the warm heat on the operator's legs.
Yeah, there you go. Keep you warm while blowing snow.
And twin vertical stacks like a trucker.
Yeah, open headers.
Yeah, and you need that Caterpillar drive. Skid steer.
That's pretty much how it worked. All levers and hydraulics and to make it go.
Going down into a snowdrift, and probably got flame shooting out the headers.
Who says that Americans aren't still not inventive?
Hey man, that's redneck engineering right there. Only a redneck would think to do something like that.
Same with the chainsaw, but I love redneck engineering.
And why do they do something like that? Because they can.
There's a YouTube video of a diesel engine. It's the smaller of the 645. Mine's the V20. This is the V10. But anyway, he's He's using the out drive on it as an apple peeler. So he's got about 1,000 horsepower to peel an apple.
Yeah, it's a slight bit inefficient.
Antenna that I'm getting a bracket made for, and I want to stick the tower, below this,
That scares me. Get your hand caught in that thing and take your whole arm off.
Yes, 25 megahertz.
Which brings us full circle back to why I asked about those gas turbines. I was like, how much mass is that flinging around? How fast? And what does it have to go through if one of them blew up? Would it have to go through like 2 inches of cast iron?
Well, you ain't grabbing a hold of that shaft and stopping it by hand. I can tell you that right now.
It's cone.
No way.
C-O-N-E. Look them up.
No, if one of them decided to fly apart, which is like rare in the extreme, it has to go through some steel to get out. Although I have seen steam turbines come apart, and they have to go through some metal to get out. But it does happen, and it's like a bomb going off. The shrapnel flies.
Radio Shack and...
Yeah, once those things go out of balance, it doesn't take long to self-destruct.
Yeah, I saw a main feed pump steam turbine on a Coral Sea and 4 engine room come apart. It made an ugly mess, man. There was shrapnel holes and all kinds of crap all over the place.
They don't put like vibration sensors on that stuff, do they?
Yes, we do. Yep, we monitor well, these days is much better than the old days. The old days, you just knew what your machinery sounded like, and when something didn't sound right, you knew. But these days, yeah, everything's got vibration sensors. We monitor all the bearing temperatures and vibrations, X and Y axis, Z axis.
Yeah, G-force.
Yeah, but that's more...
Yeah, and then anything reaches a certain point, it goes into alarm.
But the long wire really didn't do it,
Excessive vibration will take the machine and trip it. Overspeed will trip it. There's a mechanical, if the electrical don't take it out, it'll reach a mechanical, what they call the bolt. It's just like a high spinning centrifuge. We call it the bolt. And once that spinning centrifuge on a spring reaches a certain point, it'll trip the machine if the previous trip didn't trip the machine.
About that area at all. Just me.
That's right, the governor.
Yeah. No, I heard John 80 meters.
I'll say, Governor, have you got the goon yet?
Hey, governor.
Not 76, 37. The hell is it? 3760 rather. And
We had a student once try to stop a turbocharger on his 15-liter diesel with his finger.
That didn't end well.
And
No, whatever he stuck in was removed. It happened so quickly he didn't even feel it.
Yeah, it was over, Johnny. Well, I got something like not as gruesome, but was rather fun. Now, you got to remember, I was 19, 20 years old, but we used to go down when we were warming up the engine in port. The ropes were still tied. They would do what's called spin in the main. We're getting ready to get underway or testing the main engines or whatever, but usually getting up ready to get underway, they would spin the main. They would open the head throttle and spin it, a few RPM forward, and they'd spin it a few RPM backwards and then stop it with the head throttle. But we used to go down the shaft to go shaft riding. You hop on the shaft while they're spinning the main, and they get up to maybe 10, 15, 20 RPM. We used to have how long can you hold on?
well,
Twisting you around?
Yeah, we go shaft riding. The shaft was, I don't know, 18, 20 inches in diameter, just enough where you could grab around, grab your wrists,
and I just shut it off.
Oh, man.
Go for a ride.
So is it like a log roll type thing?
Well, it's in the shaft alley. It's a space that's not very wide, maybe 10 or 12 feet wide, but they're a frame of the ship length long, which is maybe 20 feet, and then an 8-foot ceiling, maybe a little bit more, and the shaft runs right through the center. And you can grab a hold of the shaft and go for a ride.
Is that like tree rolling, holding onto a rope while you're pulling off branches of a tree and take a ride around the tree trunk?
Describe it
suppose so. On the LaSalle, on my last ship, I was in the after fire room, machinery, engine room, and the forward engine room was ahead of us, and their shaft actually came through our space, and you could go shaft riding on that too. But if you came off at the wrong direction, you might hit the main feed pump, and that'll hurt.
28. But I can flip the receiver on. That's how I was.
Yeah, that'll leave a mark.
The shaft alleys were a lot better because you came flying off. You didn't do anything but hit the bulkhead, the ceiling, or the deck. You know, you weren't hitting machinery. You just flung off and hit the a flat surface.
I think everybody could get there. So
yeah, you better hope they weren't going to crank that up to maximum RPM.
It went back.
I wonder, it's been a long time now, but I want to say 20 or 22 RPM, something like that was the record. I even think there was one crazy nut who might have even done more than that. But, I mean, that's really spinning, dude.
Thing here, I'm used.
Oh, absolutely. What's the maximum speed, though? It's like 75, isn't it?
No, 200 RPM plus. I think the Coral Sea was like 218 RPM. Glover was somewhere around there. It was right over 200 RPM was like flank speed.
Some individuals in the you're right. Yeah, during the day.
That's on the the main shaft to the propeller. The main turbines are spinning around 20,000 RPM.
So we go through a gearbox to the propeller?
A huge gearbox, main reduction gear, two bull gear reduction, double pinion, helical, or herringbone gears, double reduction.
What are the diameters of the props on that?
Well, the Coral Sea had 36-foot diameter props. The Glover, the frigate I was on, I think we didn't really have a prop. We had a pump jet, but its diameter was something like 18 or 20 feet. And then I think the LaSalle was somewhere around the same thing, 22-foot diameter props.
That's what's down there.
Yeah, that's a lot of inertia.
You're on there.
Big jet, man.
It's like a lot of thrust, too.
Yeah, imagine a Kawasaki jet ski pump jet on the bottom of the ship. That was my frigate. Oh, that was awesome. And that was with supercharged P-fire boilers. Ha ha ha. That was a real Greyhound there.
When it starts coming in, but you'll hear Ron. Sounds like skip.
212,000 shaft horsepower.
And
Could you get a yacht with those engines?
I wanted to buy the ship. I wish I was a rich guy, buy a ship and make it a private yacht.
just had, some.
That thing would go from 3 knots to 34 knots. Now, not the ship itself, but the propeller, in 45 seconds.
That's what I'm talking about.
And
That's right. That was my boilers, baby.
it's a lot stronger than his.
I keep hearing these distant signals get real strong and then they get real weak.
Yeah, they're in there. That's Nova Scotia. They've been chatting for a little while now.
We're probably riding through that storm on the way up to New England.
I don't know, more than 20.
Yeah, that East Skip Blair shear.
No, it's usually about 10:30. That's.
Yeah, because the snowstorm's moving out. I think it stopped snowing. I don't see any snow outside anymore. That's all moving up into New England and up into Canada and all.
I don't know. I just came in and it was snowing like hell when I came in.
Hello, Tim.
Pete, Dave, Sparky, anybody else that's out there?
Happy Thanksgiving, Tim.
Happy Turkey Day.
Yep, same to y'all.
Gonna eat me some pumpkin pie, some cranberry.
Oh, wait a minute, you're jumping the gun there. You're supposed to do that tomorrow.
Some stuffing.
I'm gonna be making lettuce.
Yeah, we got all our dishes and all that put together tonight. All they got to do is go in the oven.
And my wife was doing all the baking of the pies tonight.
Well, today.
Ooh, I just had a power hit.
Vegas, I done more today.
Yeah, the trees were snapping over here.
My lights just dimmed for a split second.
A little bit when Allie comes down.
Yeah, this afternoon, Ron was talking on the net. There was either a jet flying over or there was thunder snow.
Yeah, there was thunder snow.
Yes, it was. I heard one rumble of it.
Back seats down.
Didn't hear anything down here. Must have been north of us.
I slept through it.
We said either it was thunder, snow, an earthquake, or a jet.
That was thunder snow.
Yeah, they showed it.
The wife said she heard it.
It was a long, low rumble. It lasted for like 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah, that was Ron's description.
That's because that particular bolt probably displaced a big column of air.
The weird thing is, though, right after it happened, the snow right here actually slowed down, which is weird because thunder snow usually makes the snow rate come down really fast.
Rain slushing there, or, a bit of snow in the rain.
Yeah, they were tracking. They can track where the lightning bolts happened, and it was right along the rain-snow line.
Yeah, the rain-snow line pretty much paralleled I-95.
Snow tires studded, so I just feel...
I remember in the years past, I would have rain static. I'd pick that up on my antenna during a blizzard.
Think of driving by...
Or snow static.
Yeah, I used to have my antenna would carry a charge. It would get charged up, and you could discharge it, but now it's grounded.
Hey, Chuck.
Yeah, go ahead.
Were you really offended?
No, I was just jerking your chain.
You got me, man. Especially when you said you was going 10-7.
There's no flies on you, though.
Who did that?
That's funny, man. I could tell. He was joking.
Stop in for a hamburger.
Geez, Train, you are just so gullible.
Train, what do I do for a living? You know what I do. For me to stand in front of the class with all those kids, am I going to be sensitive and thin-skinned? You can't be.
Suppose one of them call you Boofy.
Things.
That sounds exactly what I said.
I've been checking my audio.
I forget what the hell I was talking.
Man, we got a little bit of skip coming in there.
Yeah, Snowmageddon skip.
Yeah,
Hey, speaking about snow, we didn't get half the snow these people promised us.
back.
Nah, nowhere close. Not right in this area, but you go up the road like Hupp's Church, they got 8 inches.
Free you some money.
For real?
Uh-huh.
Better hit
Get out of here.
the patience for that. But
I got 2 inches on my deck, that's all I got. But, Hupp's Church got 8. So, certain other places got 6, 6.5. A net gain of 0 after the initial big flakes came down this morning, and then it kind of slowed down after that.
I almost totally escaped it. I left early this morning. I was working on the Jersey side, so I had to get an early break. And when I come back, it was just getting started a little bit. They had a little white. They shoveled the pavement, before I got home. I was like unscathed by the whole thing.
I think downsized.
Yeah, well, I could have probably went to work today, but I figured, they're calling for 6 to 10 inches. I thought, I better just err on the safe side and stay home. It's like, nah, could have went.
So am I going to have to return my snow day?
Yeah, in June.
You know what you could probably do? Let them know that it wasn't really no snow day and you want redemption.
And they would have a little option. So I think that's where Burpee.
You say it was a dud. It wasn't real. I want to redeem it.
I remember the year they canceled school in the whole area, predicting this big blizzard, and we didn't even get a flake of snow. The roads were like bone dry.
Well, I think it's
Yeah, it's happened a couple times where they were predicting like 9 or 10 inches of snow out here, and the city and east got a whole lot, but out here we got a half an inch.
or mental, I guess. Mentally
Classic radio roundup.
fine line. And
Heard that.
Oh no. Audio. Hello.
You got no audio.
it would not.
Somebody's breaking up.
Or
Well, that's not working out then, is it?
Your audio is non-existent.
somebody hollered or screamed at him.
That's just
Said,
not
look, we
right.
need food. Okay. Then he's going.
Tell you what, I like is Little Robin, but I'm not sure how good the ears are.
Model Robin, is it?
Well, it certainly sounds good.
Well, I hear them guys out 23, Chuck, the original 123, as opposed to the 123B. But I hear them guys out there pretty clear in DX.
How do you like them apples? The stock microphone from my Regency doesn't have any audio.
Is that what that was?
10-4.
Oh, no.
You have to find another radio to do stock mic edition.
No, I already moved the camera. I ain't doing it again.
Maybe it's a broken wire.
It might be something real simple.
Probably got dropped too many times.
Train, I had one of those. I bought it on eBay. Got the thing here. Tinkered with it, recapped it. Played with it for a little bit, got bored, and put it on eBay and got rid of it.
Maybe this is the one I have.
I don't know. It wasn't sold locally. This one was had a green chassis.
Yeah, well, this one here has a copper chassis. Beautiful copper chassis, or copper-coated chassis, let's put it that way. I don't think that's copper all the way through. And it's pretty. You know, she's clean inside and outside. She's about 99%.
Copper tone.
That would be a cool radio to put a clear cover on. Yeah, I do need covers, but I just don't like the looks of covers.
And the readout was on the side.
Yeah, you need that copper tone radio. It's like suntan lotion.
Yeah, that's not the only one with a copper chassis, but this one here is pretty.
Where'd you find that one?
On eBay. Most of my stuff comes off eBay. I don't even do the Craigslist thing.
Probably about 30 terms to the inch. You know, just,
Yeah, there's an ad that went in a couple days ago. Old electronic junk from an estate. And looks like there's a Simba amongst the electronics. You have to buy the whole package. I forget what it was, but it was I could tell it was a Simba, full-size base station with the analog clock in it.
Simba was a good radio. Wasn't that the top of the line?
Top of Pierce Simpson's line, yeah.
Yeah, that was the top right there. Oh, man, I think my battery's gone. Got a little ping in there. They're pretty good, man. They're top of the line, but get a couple of them. You're going to need parts. Why? They have problems? Yeah, I think so, just due to the age. I've had some come through good and some not good. Some are good to keep the parts.
Depends on which model. If it's the early model or the late model. There's two different versions of the Simba.
You're right, Tim.
Yeah, the later version has the tone control. Yep, and I think they were the ones gave you the most issues.
Hey, Tim, which one do you have?
I have the early version without the tone control. Now, supposedly, the early version and the late version had identical chassis in them, though. The tone control was just not added to it, but the chassis are the same.
better, but I'm going to start drinking and it's going to get better.
No, that could very well be. The biggest issue with either version was the power supplies were weak. Yeah, mine had some power supply problems. If you really cranked it up and started hitting it hard on sideband, it would shut down. Yeah, watch what happened with mine. My power supply took a shit. It's got enough power in it to run the clock, but yet it won't turn the damn radio on.
Yeah, I always bypass it, man. This one's running off the separate one.
Well, the clock ran off of 120 volts, not off the power supply. Yeah, well, it had to go through the power supply, though, didn't it? No, not at all. It's line voltage, goes right to the clock. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know that much about radios, at least inside of them anyway. All I know is my clock works, but the radio don't come on with the power supply, but it works on 12 volt. Yeah, probably the series pass transistor went bad in it, because that's usually what the weak link is on those.
I know there's an...
Yeah, I know it ain't anything really major, but I use it. I use it all the time on the power
Is that what you on now, Tim?
No, I'm on my Madison right now.
Tim Roger, you sound extra good. You're cutting across the town now.
Well, I think this has a little more power than the Simba.
Hey, 10-4. Incidentally, I shouted for you Sunday, man, but I was a couple hours later than I thought I would be getting out of here, man. I was around 6 o'clock or later getting out of there.
10-4, that's all right. That's not a problem.
I had a good day, though, you know. They had a football game, so the guys were over watching the football game, and I was hanging the wallpaper, and I couldn't tell whether the game was on or whether they was watching pre-game stuff, preliminaries. So I asked the lady, I said, is the game, did it start? Is this the main event? And she's like, yeah. So I told them guys, I said, I'm disappointed. Ain't y'all supposed to be like jumping up and down and shouting and making a lot of noise? I'm like, this is the most civilized game I ever saw. They said, we're too old for all of that. Them guys was real civilized, man. They didn't even hardly let out a shout.
You know what that's for? They probably didn't realize what was going on.
Well, I went in there later, and one of them, he was sitting up there asleep. All of them was either geriatric or you know, close to it. Well, I told myself, I'm disappointed. I thought you guys were supposed to be, you know, jumping up and down.
It's on the TV. Yeah, this one's not.
Oh, you got one of the cheap ones then.
They said that they did that when they were younger.
9.6? Yeah, sideband. Yeah, just the 40 channel.
Oh, the innards are a little different, but I think it's the same footprint.
He is, likely is. I never tried it, but
Alrighty then.
Oh, lefty then.
no.
Oh, geez, I guess it is cheap.
Where's Operator Ron tonight? Where you at, Ron?
You put an echo board on a CB radio, but they'll put it on a 10-meter range.
Maybe he's plucking his turkey.
Bagger, you cooking tomorrow, man?
Yes, we are cooking tomorrow.
No, I said, are you cooking?
No, I'm not cooking. The turkey's cooking. Operator Ron's up in the street keeping the snow off the coax so it don't pull his antenna down.
Tim, you sound good tonight, man.
Yeah, Ron wasn't here earlier.
Right here.
Go, Breaker.
That's Mud Duck Ron.
Mud Duck Ron here. 10-4. I think I hear no voice, too.
Years ago there. Hell of a job. But just something you got to plug in there. I'll see if I can dig it up for you. See what the hell it is. Yeah, I know. Give you a shot.
Should be a new Canadian outlaw, though, Russell.
You and Ellie, I don't know what's wrong with you guys. Take this test and join it.
Oh, I can't take no tests. I'm only allowed to take blood tests.
It's going to work.
And in honor of the Turkey Day holiday, I guess, being that I don't have to work tomorrow, I guess I can hang out a little bit longer.
Yeah, you could join us on Classic Radio Roundup After Hours Turkey Edition.
Yeah, bring your own cranberry sauce.
Pretty full, are they?
Man, you know, when we were young, that cranberry sauce was precious. We didn't get that too often. So whenever we had it, it was like, you know, they really didn't make Thanksgiving, boy. You get cranberry sauce, you get stuffing, or dressing, what you guys call it, and you have mashed potatoes, you have sweet potatoes, you have a vegetable, And Kool-Aid, man. Yeah. 'Cause that was special too. 'Cause we drank water all the rest of the week.
Hey, Night Train, when I got that cranberries with dinner, I thought, now why are they giving me dessert along with dinner? They're letting me have this with dinner? This is like dessert with dinner.
Yeah, man, it was almost like, yeah, it was just as good as any dessert back then it was. Now it's like, oh, this is just a little cranberry sauce, that's all. But yeah, man, that was special.
I'm with you. It was special. Dessert with dinner.
I never liked cranberries.
You didn't like them, that's a shame. Countywide, what microphone are you on?
Turner +2.
Turn it down a little bit. You booming.
I'm not talking very loud.
Sounds damn good to me.
Good Lord. Well, maybe I should turn my volume down then.
Well, it is not the stock radio edition. Tonight, that was last week. Stock microphone night was last week.
That's right. He's louder than you, Bagger, and you next door.
For something that just came up out of the woods like that, you know, it actually worked out pretty well.
That's the fun stuff when you bring it up, you know, without planning and it just sort of happens. You like this, Bagger?
Yeah, I like it. I think it would actually be Randy approved.
No, but it sounds good though.
And well, it must be too much for the train.
Yeah, it's real loud.
Yeah, I haven't tuned up in a while here. I have not tuned up, but now there I am. Therefore I go.
I adjusted my frequency tonight, too. The little cap underneath of, a variable cap underneath of the board. And I set it, but it still went up 2 ticks.
Yeah, I think I know what the problem was. My mic gain on the radio is higher than I normally set it, so I must have bumped it. But the mic itself is where I usually have it, so that must be a little bit better.
It's real good.
Hey, Roger. Yeah, that could act like a compressor when you have both one up and one down, or yeah, they could work and become real, or whatever that is.
I try to keep them both at 12 o'clock.
Hey, Roger, it's powerful. Which radio is it?
Regency CR 123B, 23 channel, solid state, early 70s radio, and single sideband AM with my Turner +2 microphone, breaker.
And a big gigantic amplifier?
Show you right.
Yeah, stages. What's that, the final stage? The big one?
Yeah, that's right. I got 1 drive and 8 breaker.
Or maybe that's what it is, it's the power. It's the power. You should see my needle.
Well, then it was a worthwhile investment. Because actually I just dropped the power down.
Just a little bit. Hey.
Hey, we'll drop it down a little bit more for you. 40 watts of AM radio carrier breaker.
You were better before.
40 swinging to 250.
It's got some audio over there.
Background coming in with you. I don't know if it's over the air noise or just background noise.
Alright, I'll go with there's 100 swinging 4. That's fire chicken level.
There you go.
That's a big amplifier.
It has potential. Gotta tell you, I don't live next door to him.
Yeah, now all the leaves are off the trees. I can get the full effect. Oh yeah. I ain't gonna tell you what that carrier power is.
Shake them leaves off them trees.
That was a triple. But I heard Sparky.
You're up there with 0-5 land there.
Yeah, now all the leaves are off the trees. You can notice it.
I could notice it before.
Yeah, that's Virgin tripping the breaker right there. I'll go back to fire chicken level.
His signal is just as big as yours, Bagger, and you're right next door to me.
Well, I wouldn't say 3.5 miles away is right next door, but...
And CB land, that's next door.
Well, on this channel, I guess it is.
Certainly.
Yep, heard that.
How am I doing now?
Yeah, 3.5 miles on base station CB land is next door.
You're doing much better, Ron.
Yeah, okay. Well, I got 17 miles on you.
Yeah, you're way out there.
I somehow wound up right in the middle of it all. Didn't start out that way. I used to be on the fringe, and then 44 and I were fringe, and then Sparky came in, Ron, and it just got bigger and further. You got Tickle way out there, and Chuck way down there.
Yeah, you're in the middle now.
I know, I somehow wound up here in the middle of the volcano crater. But yeah, I started out, we started out, I was on one side and you were on the other.
That's right. Yeah, Pottstown was the middle.
Where is the middle at now?
The ever-expanding Spew Radio Network.
That's right. On Classic Radio Roundup, 27.115 on your AM dial.
Heard live worldwide on Spew Radio.
So where was that guy, One-Eyed Jack, hailing from countywide?
He's down there in Delaware County way with Henry and all them.
Oh, 10-4.
I actually heard him up here, you know.
I couldn't get a copy on him tonight. Last week I heard him.
I had a good copy on him, but the problem, when I couldn't understand him is I was getting those waves, the signal waves, and his signal was fluttering on me. So the AGC wasn't keeping up.
I'm just going to have to turn my volume down.
He was actually real bassy in his microphone, you know.
It was very distorted.
Yeah, maybe his audio just wasn't quite what it should be, I guess.
Yeah, bass.
All about the bass.
Not the treble.
What, am I killing you over there, Train?
Yeah, man.
I'm not trying to. I got things all kinds of turned down.
Maybe I should switch radios. Maybe this one doesn't have a good ALC circuit.
Yeah, I don't know. If he's no louder than me than Sparky is.
Yeah, he's louder than you, Bagger.
That may be, because this, like I said, this one's got a very tight modulation limiter. I mean, I can whistle into this thing and it'll barely touch 100%. My average is running around 40 or 50.
He was 0.5 in May.
Well, nah, he's not zero. You're not getting 0.5 until smoke starts pouring out of something.
That's right. Don't throw that 0.5 around too lightly now. I want to keep the magic smoke inside my equipment. But it's nice to know that my CR123B can talk. Come on.
Oh yeah, by all means.
This is the radio you heard me on down there in the bowels of Philadelphia along the river there.
Was it that amp?
10-4.
Alright, that'll explain it. That's probably where you're reaching right now, to the river drive.
Night train, got a copy?
Well, it's good to know that this thing got ears, man. I'm hearing some distant voices for a change.
I'm reaching out, touching with the Countywide Radio Network, LLC.
Somebody was just shouting for you, Night Train. Come again there, Tim?
Somebody was just shouting for you.
Alright, thank you, Tim. That breaker out there for Night Train, come on. I hear you, but I don't know who that is. Identify yourself, driver. That break out there for Night Train, come on. too up here. Well, if it's anybody, he can find a higher hill and then, you know, shout back.
He sounded distant, didn't he there, Tim?
Yeah, he was way out there, definitely mobile.
It almost sounded like he said it was 3 watt. If so, he's in Philadelphia.
That's what it sounded like you said to me, was 3 watt.
Yeah, I kind of think you're right. I think that was 3 watt from Philly. I was thinking about him today. 3 watt, if that's you out there, train got you. Come on.
Let me see, I'm reaching out there and touching places. How about it, 3 watt? Hey, 3 watt, we got you up here. Night Train's got you up here on Classic Radio Roundup. Go, go, go.
Maybe somebody gave 2 watt a tune-up.
Wait, turn to 3?
Well, if he is getting back, he certainly ain't gonna make it through all of y'all. Are we quick keying? Not us.
No voice is in there, and he says he's got the guy. He heard him.
And there's Quarter Wave Dave. Top of the evening, Quarter Wave Dave. Happy Thanksgiving from your countywide radio, LLC.
Evening countywide, and happy Thanksgiving, and Sandbagger, happy Thanksgiving, Night Train, Sparky, Tim, Operator Ron, whoever else is out there sandbagging.
Don't forget Chuck.
Don't forget Chuck, you'll get in trouble.
Thanksgiving down that way, Chuck.
See what you did to me, Train? Now everybody's doing it.
I think that really was 2 watt down there in Philadelphia. 2 watt, 3 watt. I'm sorry, 3 watt. Man, got me calling him 2 watt. Yeah, 3 watt. Night Train base station with the Thanksgiving wave.
Sounding boofy.
I can hear you now. I gotta point the beam down there.
Yeah, I heard him say I could hear it. I can hear you now. Is it boofy?
I'm hearing a buzz.
A lot of interference on this particular frequency.
Yeah, there's a lot of operators up here. I hope you hear me clear enough, but you know, I plan to be in here tonight when it get a little bit quieter, ma'am. But I've been thinking about you there, 10-4.
Yeah, I didn't get there. You said you'd do something, then you said 10-4.
All right, hold on, 2 watt. Let me turn the amp on. Roger.
10-4, I heard what you said. I'm on the side.
That really was 2 watt. I hope I'm sounding all right now. 2 watt. Hello there, man. It's been 3 watt. See, I keep calling you 2 watt. They mess with my mind up here. Louie, kick it back and tell us how everybody's doing, man.
I'm doing good. I come to this channel every now and then and try to holler at you, but this particular channel's got a lot of noise, got high noise level on this particular frequency. Always has been like this.
10 Roger. Well, I'll put a little fire in the wire for you, man. Hopefully it's clear enough to make it down there. 10-4?
Yeah, 10-4. Yeah, I'm on a little cheap old Royce radio I just put together, and so I can auction it off to this guy. He wants a radio, so I prepared it and would take it, but it picks up a lot of stuff and noise.
Roger that. Well, I'm glad you keyed up. Timmy from North Wells opened the door for you, man, just so you're aware of it. Timmy picked you up, man, said he could hear a breaker out there for the Night Train, and then I recognized your voice. I'm like, wow, that's Louie.
You're squealing.
It's gonna blow up, Train.
Hold on 1 second.
I think I should change the radios. This one here don't work too well with it.
Yeah, I gotta tune this thing over. I've been on a lower channel.
Yeah, I don't want to stay on this too long either. I'm squealing and carrying on up on this end, Roger.
Lower channels and
All right, I'll be on the side, man. I think I'm starting to squeal, man. If I pull the mic away from the radio, all kinds of strange stuff happen. It went away now, right, Ron?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, I know I should have came up there. And let me back it down a little bit more.
Yeah, it's like I gotta put the microphone next to the radio. If I pull it too far away from the radio, this happens. If I do that, then that happens. There it is. She's all right now.
That's how I was getting that ping out of this radio. I had it sitting on top of it.
Are you running on the beam?
Yeah, she got it.
No, I'm on the iMac.
You probably wouldn't squeal on the beam because the IMAX has that coaxial radiation issue.
I turned the amp off, man. That's enough of that already.
You think that's RF feedback?
Yeah, that's what I think that is.
That's what most squeals are.
Well, the combination of the amplifier and everything else is going on.
Yeah, and it happened when I turned the amp on.
Yeah, and the amplifier just makes it worse because there's more RF now.
And if it be a little old man out there in your yard with a pacemaker on, you could put the maul down on him.
Somebody I know did that.
And what happened?
He died.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, that yard knew.
Yeah, I mean, years ago, this buddy of mine, he's a ham, and he had his ground-mounted vertical right up against his property line, which is only about maybe 10 or 15 feet from his neighbor's house, and his neighbor had a pacemaker. One night he was on 40 meters, and he was cranked up. He was running the legal limit on 40 meters, doing some kind of rag chewing. And the next day, they pulled the neighbor out of the house on a stretcher, and he was dead. So I don't know. Did he do it or not? I don't know, but coincidental.
Depends on how weak the battery was.
He put the maul down on him.
I can't talk when her mom's here.
What's up, guys? Hello, Doug. What's up?
Hello, Badger.
You.
What's going on, Badger?
Hello, everybody. Those people in here tonight. Well, I hope everybody survived the storm, and just sitting here at the little shack here, enjoying the evening and talking with a bunch of other people all over the place. So I figured I'd come down here and talk to my homies.
You guys are cracking me up with that drop the maul on the pacemaker.
Put the maul down on you.
I'm over here laughing.
Jeff?
I'm over here laughing at that. That's hilarious.
I think I want to see that on Mythbusters.
That was Piero that did that.
Copy, I'm gonna go do another radio. This radio's kicking a lot.
Yeah, and I got the antenna he did it with. I got the smoking gun.
It was a butternut vertical ground mount.
I have it.
That's the one.
I have it. 40, 80, 160.
Yeah, well, he had it at his property line at his old house. Not where he is now, but his old house. And the way the properties were drawn out, his house is butt up against the property line. So, the distance between the antenna and that guy's house is like 15 feet.
Yeah, I know where the antenna is. I went and took it down.
No, you didn't, because that was his old house.
Well, his house at Fairview is where I went and got the antenna.
Yeah, well, before he lived in Fairview, he was down in East Narden in the bottom of the valley, and that's where that was.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He put the maul down on his neighbor.
His neighbor used to give him crap because he'd come out and yell, bitch about the antenna and all that, and he was a real crusty old guy. Then one night he's talking on 40 meters, and the next day they pulled him out dead.
That puts a whole new meaning to putting them all down. That was cracking me up the way you were saying that, Trade.
Ain't nobody gonna talk while I got the maul down.
And you gonna never talk again.
He was gonna die that day. That's what was gonna happen, that's all.
Yeah, I mean, it seems awful coincidental, but...
Yeah, that's too coincidental. But yeah, they had that in the ham know, when you study for your license, you know, a person out in the yard, and, you know.
I mean, you know, what kind of ERP is 1,000 watts, you know, or 1,200 watts going to do to a guy, you know, 30, 40 feet away?
Ron, you said you can't talk when your mother-in-law's there? Where'd you go, operator?
I'm here, yeah. I can't do anything high around what she's in the house.
Does she have a pacemaker?
Yep. The battery was like 1% until it died because they monitor it. You know, she puts the telephone up to her chest and they know exactly what's going on. And she just got a brand new one, so it's good for another 10 years.
So you have to be careful.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 'Cause she can't even hold a cell phone.
Now suppose she just happened to be coming to the door when you're cranking it up to do some DX shooting down to Texas and you didn't know she was at the door.
I guess the wheel comes earlier. Yeah, the battery's good for 10 years. There's no guarantee the rest of her is. That's right. She'll probably outlast me.
Yeah, she probably will.
There's not a part on her body that has not got something done to it.
Is it made by Timex?
I don't want no pacemaker.
And you don't want a new car either.
No, no new car, no pacemaker.
So hopefully you don't need one.
Yeah, I don't think so, ever.
You gotta explain that with the sandbagger about that new car.
Yeah, Bagger, here's the deal on the new car. My grandfather, he was pretty well off. I mean, for a man of his status, you know what I mean? And so in those days, I think they had Model Ts. He bought a brand new one, man. And it wasn't long after that he died. So then my father, he come along. He was the youngest son. And when he got his first brand new car, after that he died. I'm like, man, I don't want no brand new car. I don't want no brand. I'll just take a second hand. Give me that. Yeah, not the new. No. The one over there. Yeah, that's the one I want.
It would keep me out of a new car.
Yeah, there's some kind of curse there.
It didn't look good at all, man. They get their first new car. You know, my grandfather back in that day, that was revolutionary to have like a brand new Model T or Model A or whatever they were. You know, I don't know what model it was. The truth be told, he died, and my father told me about that thing. And then he got him a new car. First he had a little Plymouth Valari, but he didn't like that, so he traded it in and got a beautiful Caprice, 1978. Nice. After that, man, it was over. I'm like, no. I'll stick with my used vehicles.
You know, come to think of it, well, my father got a brand new car. He died too, but it was like maybe, what year was that? 60. I guess it was almost a year later he died.
Yeah, he had a 78. He died in 1980. It wasn't that long. Early part of 82.
Actually, no, you know what? That was a 69 that he bought. 69 Mercury, brand new. And he died in July of that 69, so it was less than a year.
Early part of 82. What was it, 1980 or early part of 82?
What was the car's name? Christine? Barry.
way out there. The early part of 1980.
Okay.
You guys ever watch that movie?
Somebody better call 911 because there's a screamer going on.
You know, people that don't know what to do with the radios, that's what that is going on. Chances are they can't hold a decent conversation.
Well, I was just suggesting maybe 911 should be called.
It's not true. That's somebody with a noise toy or one of them smartphones.
Yeah. It's all junk.
Junk!
Here I throws that pacemaker acting up.
Surprised KLMX Cosmic Radio didn't drop in to say hello tonight. So the Cosmic Scanner was down, so I figured he was maybe going to get on the radio.
Oh, yeah.
Heard that.
Who, what, where, how?
How many and thereof, and oh yeah, throw on a forklift.
You need more audio.
Yeah, it does. Operator! What's going on there? Hello, Skeeter. Right back, Night Train. I had to crank up that pellet stove, man. I'm a little chilly.
You know, speaking of that, I've got some fiberglass tadpole strips, you know, the like door gasket kind of thing, and I wrapped all the joints in my pipe leaving the stove, and man, what a difference that made in my draft. The stove gets cooking now.
So where did you put these things?
You know, like woven fiberglass, you know, like it comes in a roll.
Yeah.
Well, I wrapped that all around all the joints where the stovepipe goes from the stove to the wall.
What, you had leaks in the joints?
Apparently enough. We're talking, I guess, only a little bit, but it was enough to make a huge difference.
And that stuff doesn't melt from the stovepipe heat?
Oh no, we use it to seal our firebox doors on our boilers.
Is that kind of like the header tape that everybody wraps around their pipes on the bikes and stuff?
Similar to that, yeah, fiberglass cloth.
I didn't think fiberglass could handle the heat, but okay.
Not direct flame, but it can handle the heat.
This stuff that took over asbestos.
Yeah, I'll deny it in a court of law, but it came from a place that I'm well aware of its capabilities.
Yeah, it looks just like it, but it's not.
So you're pulling a better draft now?
Yeah, big time. It's the first I've actually, because the wife was complaining when I start pumping the stove, she could smell the smoke. I'm like, well, the only place it could be coming from is any little leaks in the pipe, so I wrapped all the joints, and all of a sudden it really increased my draft. And I got to back down the draft now because this thing's cooking. Finally got this thing figured out.
Well, that's true about the smoke, though, because, like, when I got that Regency radio from you, it smelled like smoke.
Well, it's been down here for years of burning a wood stove.
Yeah, so, I mean, that does tend to permeate things. It's almost as bad as cigarette smoke.
Not as bad as Steve's place where you had both.
Oh, my God. And you wonder why the poor guy died of lung cancer.
Yeah, I've got some radio equipment with some of that, but as soon as you hit it with alcohol, like Windex or something, man, it melts right off.
I mean, my Brownie Mark 3 reeked of cigarette smoke, and I cleaned the living crap out of that, and I still couldn't get it completely out. Now, maybe 3 or 4 years later, it's finally gotten to the point where I don't smell it anymore.
See that little key up? What's up with that?
It's just a little key up.
Okay, that's better. See, it doesn't do it there. Alright. Resume as normal.
How about night train got a copy of?
It's kind of like sometimes if I wait a while and then I key up. On Classic Radio Roundup.
You still on that Midland?
Yes, I am, man. That thing sound good or what?
Yeah, sounds real good.
Yeah, it's got a good spectral signature, man.
Man, mine really didn't sound all that good, so I finally went in there and had to make a few frequency modifications to the audio. Gave it a little bit more bottom end. Now it sounds a lot better.
Yeah, it's not wide banded, but I mean it does some good reproduction.
Right.
Is that you, Tickle?
Yes, sir.
What's going on?
I think I heard somebody calling for training out there in the background. Was there somebody out there calling the night train?
Alrighty then.
Tune him if you got him.
Yeah, smoke him if you got him. There you go, Sparky. What do you think? What do you think of this thing?
That sounds good. It just got a little mechanical noise, but the audio is really good. The mechanical is just from the key up, that's all.
Yeah, this is my 898B here.
Damn, man, that thing's got some good audio.
Yeah, I had to give it a little bit more low end because it just didn't have enough. Everybody used to say, this one wasn't up to my normal standards for what my radios normally sound like, so I had to go in there and do something about it.
Okay, yeah, man, it's got a great sound.
Yeah, this one probably has a little bit more punch than the Tram. Yeah, I get a little bit more. Average is about 60% and 60-70%.
Yeah, I hear more sound coming out of the top back. It's got this screen up, a heat screen. That's a heat out, and the speaker. Actually, because I have it sitting on the bench, I hear more sound coming out of the top of it than I do the front.
Yeah, that's where you get all your high fidelity extra bass and treble there.
Yeah, it's ported.
Yeah, it's a ported speaker. I like this radio. The only bummer is the clock doesn't work.
No, I just disable them as soon as I get them.
Yeah, I like the ones with the clock works. Like my Cobra 135, the clock works. The symbol works. My 885 works. But this one does not. It did work at one time, but I think the motor melted down or something.
Yeah, unless it's a digital clock. If it's an LED clock or digital, I'll leave that one running. These asynchronous ones, I'll just lift the wire.
Yeah. I got one of these things that come back to life. I drilled a small hole in the little motor and squirted some graphite in there, and it started to work again.
Yeah, you can grease them. An asynchronous motor.
Yeah, otherwise known as a clock.
something, or did you ever notice that on these?
Mine actually has a slight gold tint to it because I think that's from the years of nicotine exposure.
Yeah, these almost have like a, if they're not like a straight bright aluminum color, they kind of have a little bit of turquoise in them or something.
Yeah, the bottom knobs are pretty silver, but the channel selector's got a gold tint to it, and like I say, that's like, you know, tar stains from cigarette smoke. Because Pete originally had this radio, and he had to do a hell of a lot of cleaning to it to get most of the tar stains off of everything.
That one was a Perkiomen sale special.
Oh yeah. What'd you get it for? $3.75?
It wasn't much, around $5.
Yeah, $5.25, $5.25, $5.25. Sold.
Only because it was so grody.
Yeah, but I like this thing.
I liked it too, till it crapped out on me.
Yeah, I know. This had the weirdest failure in it. That a disc cap in the back end, you know, shorted out. It wouldn't put out more than a half a watt.
Is the carrier open on that one also?
The carrier? You mean a clarifier?
I mean the clarifier, yeah. Let me clarify that.
Yeah, they came standard that way. Now we can do the classic radio roundup sideband edition.
Yeah, channel 16.
Do it right here, and on my CR123B.
We can stay right here. Last time we tried to do a sideband roundup on 16, we got a bunch of people up towards Allentown all pissed off.
That's right. All of a sudden, you know, you don't think anybody's around, do you start using the channel?
And I could barely hear any of them guys, but I'm sure you must have been nailing them.
You can see what an RF nightmare that fishbowl can be for my HT.
Yeah, every conceivable interference source known to man.
Yeah, what an environment, right?
The only thing worse than that would be where I work.
Well, remember, I got generators and boilers and high voltage motors and stuff surrounding the room that I'm in.
Yeah, I've got millions of little RF generators on every conceivable television channel and and there's probably hundreds of servers running in racks.
Yeah, I got servers running in racks all over the place too, because everything, you know, we got all those servers to run all our equipment. So there's the 3 main servers for the boilers, there's 2 servers for each generator, and then all that nonsense, and then each generator, you know, 25 and 40 megawatts at 36 kV. Plus the daggone exciter power supply for exciting the field. That's what do we? I think that goes up to 50 volts at 500 amps or something. It's the size of a freaking van.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, lots of power.
Lots of watts.
But you have volts and you gotta have amps.
And we're considered a small place.
Well, your 40 megawatt generator is only 4 megawatts short of what Lake Wallenpaupack's hydroelectric plant puts out.
Well, when it gets down around 20 degrees, it'll actually make 44 megawatts. Colder it is, the more megawatts you can make, because the air is denser, and the whole front end of a gas turbine is compression. You know, more air and fuel you can compress and push through there and keep the machine itself cool, the more megawatts you can make.
Lots and lots of watts.
Yeah, our 25 megawatt generator, when it gets down 20 degrees or below, it'll make 29 megawatts.
to all kinds of power supplies and generators because I got my this big Lambda of mine, my 30 watt or 30 amp Lambda has a derating chart for temperature. As it goes up, the current rating starts dropping.
Yeah, a good example is that diesel. When it's 80 plus, you know, you can make 1.5 to 2 megawatts out of it. When it gets down, you know, below 50 degrees, you can make 3 megawatts out of that thing.
Yeah, speaking of your place there, I heard through the grapevine that they're getting ready to let a bunch of people go again.
Probably dead weight management types.
Who probably deserve it beyond all recognition.
Well, we still have a vacant slot that they're looking to fill, so I'm not worried.
Now, you got to keep the lights on no matter who's there.
And what was it? USG or UGW or I don't know. GS. I don't know. Some alphabet soup company. You probably know who I'm talking about. Came walking through, and they've been hanging around for the last year or so. They finally decided they don't want to bother because we were kind of a little bit worried about just being taken over, and they just decided it's too complex. They don't want it.
Oh, like J&L?
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Yeah, because they're a management company for like plant management. We have them at our place. I don't know if we'll get rid of them or continue on with them, but it's like, you know, I don't understand. Maybe I'm missing a piece of the puzzle, but I don't understand how hiring a third-party company is going to be cheaper for your company than paying your own people, because they got to pay people, and then, you know, they got to make a profit too. So I don't see how it can be cheaper.
They pay them less, and they don't have to give them a benefit or retirement package. They leave them out on their own. No legacy costs.
Yeah, but when they came into our place, they basically just absorbed all the people that were already working for us, and they just became J&L employees, and they had comparable benefits and salary. Of course, you know, I don't know, after a couple of years and stuff, maybe they lost some of that, but
I think there's a line between skilled and unskilled labor too, because all the unskilled labor folks were all up in arms, but all the skilled labor folks you didn't hear much coming out of. So, you know, maybe there's a line there, you know. But anyway, they said your place is too complex. There's no standardization, which like is actually a good thing, you know. Okay, well, we know our place, and too hard for anybody on the outside to pick it up.
That says job security to me, for you anyway.
That's right.
I think I want to try my +2 out of this thing and see what it sounds like.
Because we have we really have no two pieces of equipment that are the same. It's a big old daisy chain. It's not like building a ship where they blueprint, draw it out, lay it out, and build it, you know, and then a whole class of ships, you can walk from one to the next, and with some minor differences, they're all the same.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. All right. Now we're on the +2. How does this thing sound?
+2 sounds okay to me. Countywide radio on my +2.
Yeah, that thing's even got some more bass to it.
Yeah, we're all about the bass. No trouble.
Sounds good, man.
Yeah, so I got a mic like Pete and a radio like you. So we're humming along here. The only bummer is when I unkey this mic, it chirps. I should say the radio chirps.
Yeah, I got past my ping was due to my battery, my 9-volt being low, and I guess the mic would key it a split second later, and I was getting a ping.
I was supposed to change radios, but I was too lazy to get up and do it.
No excuses.
I did change radios, and I'm on it.
Which one you on now, countywide?
The Regency CR 123B, solid state 23 channel, single sideband AM radio.
And which one were you on before?
Sonar FS 23.
10-4.
Couple of good classics, solid state and glow on glass. Split the night.
Yeah, I started off with glowing glass. Now I'm back on solid state.
What are you on? Your modified Galaxy?
Does it sound that good?
Yeah. I really don't know, because this radio right here ain't giving nobody no justice.
So you should nickname it Ferguson.
That was in bad taste.
Earlier, every once in a while, there was a little gust of wind. Not real bad.
No, I'm not on the Galaxy. I'm on the Midland 13898B.
Roger.
With a Turner Plus 2.
Yeah, I wanted to run my SBE console too.
Yeah, that's something I haven't run in a while. I'll have to put that one back into rotation.
That's right, you too can be on the air. That is correct. With your on-the-air light.
I like that.
I like it.
Those SPEs were had blue backlighting before it was even fashionable.
Blue, black, and backswing meters, man. Skeeter calls that the Brady Bunch radio.
Brady Bunch radio.
Yeah, he don't like the way it looks. Yeah, it looks Brady, man. Brady means, you know, he used to make all his houses and buildings look the same. There was even a Brady episode where he was like bummed out because they were turning down his jobs. They all looked the same. I call it ugly.
I don't know. I always found the Console 2 to be one of my more attractive radios. I don't know. It's kind of utilitarian in design, but what it's got, it's put together nicely.
Yeah, if you look at it hard enough, it'll start looking good to you. Skeeter, you just have to look harder. It's still ugly no matter how long I look at it.
The bar, no matter how many beers you drink, they're still ugly.
Well, you get it running around the back of the house on a real rainy day, you know. I'm in here sandbagging. I'm rearranging a whole bunch of amplifiers. Night train, if you're going to be in there a little bit, I want to try that Golden Eagle out. Yeah, I plan to be here. What's going on, Skeeter? Right back, Sparky. Hey, did I hit it right, man? That they all look the same like all the Sunoco stations? It's like them cookie-cutter houses from 1977. Ugly. Yeah, the split-level, bi-level thing. That's right.
Can you say Levittown?
Or Penn Square Village.
I don't remember what microphone I had on my Polycom.
As long as it wasn't the stock mic.
I don't know what it was. I just don't, maybe it was a stock mic I was talking on. I don't remember. I'm trying to get all my radios in a nice, orderly fashion.